Okay, David in Ohio, thanks for your Stryker order. Since you ordered a Stryker, I haven't really announced this yet. I'm going to throw in this mic for free for you. It's the Stryker mic. So anybody that orders a Stryker from now until I don't have any more of those, you'll get a free mic, the Stryker mic. So I have your 497 HPC here. One thing I found on these is the max with the RF power all the way up needs to be at least 35. If you turn it down anymore, the radio just drops out power completely. So that's something that they changed. They've actually changed that because before usually about 20 was a good level. So if you look at your radio here, I have it set kind of at that range, about 20 or so. You can see my meter says about 20 there. And the RF power is obviously back. We'll take a better look at the radio later in the video here, but as far as that goes, we'll modulate this thing, and this is 30 microvolts here. I don't want to over amplitude the mic preamp in this radio. It just leads to distortion, so you don't need to go 100 or anything like that. Like 30 is plenty for this radio, but it's pretty clean on the 1K tone. I can see kind of the power, what it's doing there. And there's your scope. So we can kind of zoom in. So I'm looking at the center. It's not pinching. It's not flat topping at the top either. So everything's looking good. If I turn this RF power up all the way, let me show you first here. AM, we'll run that again. So it's about 98%. If I turn this RF power up all the way, it doesn't really clip either, but it's starting to almost flat top a little bit, so I don't really recommend running this radio all the way up because it's dead keying, like I said, about 35. And there's one adjustment on the board. If I turn it down really any lower than that, it just cuts the radio out. So if you roll your RF power all the way down, you have about 4 watts. So you can run it wherever you want, but at about 4 watts, it's at about a little less, it's more conservative, about 92%. So let's find a happy balance here of where we like to see at least 96, something like that. So we'll see what kind of carrier that is. That's about 11 watts there. So, and then if you look at your radio here, slightly over the 10. So anywhere around 10 or up is good. You don't always have to run as much carrier to get out, especially if you're going to put this in a truck, or I'm not sure what the purpose is, if it's a base or whatever, but whatever you find the purpose is, it'll work good for you no matter what. So scope looks good there too. Okay, in FM mode, the radio does a full 100 watts, and it was like that out of the factory, so that's where I'm going to leave it. And if you roll it all the way down, it goes down to about 8. So I don't really see a need to change that. I think that's good. Let's just check our deviation, which is our modulation. So we just need to change this to FM. We're about 2.1, which is about right. You can't really go much higher. Like you can go like 2.7, but 2.1 is good enough for a radio like this. It'll sound good to like someone on a normal CB, obviously. One thing I wanted to show you is the covers are a different style. I haven't seen this before on this radio. They're like a wrinkled finish, which is pretty cool. I actually like that better than that gloss, flat, boring black that a lot of radios covers are. So it's like that on the whole radio, top, bottom, sides, the whole 9 yards. So pretty cool. It has 12 different colors. I'm not sure if some of the older ones didn't have 12. The box says 7, but it does 12 different colors, so that's pretty cool too. And it will show you your standing wave when you key up. The channel selector goes to SWR, so it's pretty good radio here, real powerhouse radio. So definitely not, don't run an amplifier with this unless it's something that's really rugged and can handle a higher dead key with a lot of peak power. So, you know, I wouldn't even really run this with an amp if it were me, but everybody has a, you know, what they want to do. So I don't run the big stuff or anything like that, so I can't give you advice. There's some more of that that finish on the cover. It's pretty cool looking. You got your vents here, and you got fans. I feel like, honestly, the radio is quieter. Like the fans have gotten quieter. Now the fans have been running a lot, but I feel like with some of the other 497s that I seen the last time I was selling these quite frequently, the fans were a lot noisier than what I'm noticing in this radio. So I don't know if they did something, some dampening inside or something, or a different fan, but the fan is much quieter, but it's definitely moving air. Okay, I'm not sure if I showed you, but that is yours right there. Okay, so I recommend running the RF power at about 12 o'clock on this radio, just because I think the 35 is too high of a carrier for AM. But that's up to you. It seems like it can handle it, no problem. So at about the halfway mark on my dummy load here, you can see the 1.1. It's showing about, what would that be, about 20 or something. So it's showing about 16 watts of carrier there. So let's talk into the mic and see what we got. So we definitely got some modulation, and we're looking at anywhere from 90 to 100, sometimes a little over. So this coaxial dynamic, it gets real excited and it just kind of lays in the corner as I speak. The LP is way more accurate, but some guys like to see those kind of meters, so there you have it. It definitely just sits in the corner. As soon as I speak, it just lays back down. So again, this is a powerful radio. I think this radio would be an awesome candidate for like an AC mod or something. I think it would be really cool to run this as like a base station and have like the AC mod put in where you can inject your own audio from like a mixing board, or from like, you know, the Pro Tools if you're into that or something. I mean, you could do a lot. I think it'd be really cool. Obviously you got different colors and stuff here. Yellow's kind of cool. I feel like this has more colors than it used to. I counted 12 different colors, and I don't know if other guys have 12 colors or not, but I sat here and did the revolutions on the colors and I found 12, so I found that kind of interesting. Everything else on this is pretty self-explanatory. There's not a whole lot to cover on these. Let's just lower our power all the way down. I can kind of show you what the radio does there. So again, it was about 4 watts or so, and that's kind of what it does. So it's still kind of, it's a little punchy even at that low power mark. And then this coaxial dynamic, it's real happy, you know, it keeps going up there. And sometimes, you know, the birds and stuff like that do the same thing. So that's why I trust this meter a whole lot more, because it takes way more accurate measurements while you're keyed up and while you're speaking. So it's constantly calculating power, where this thing just kind of goes with something and it rides the wave. So even at 4 watts it does pretty good. So, you know, obviously when it's down, you won't see as much power on your SRF as you might otherwise. I can't speak for the validity of the SWR meter, but it is showing. I am on a dummy load, so it shouldn't really show much of anything. But, you know, obviously if you are setting up antennas in a truck or something, I would either have it professionally done, or if you can do it yourself, do it. I highly recommend using something like this with any setup. Actually, this one's on my website under pre-owned used, so this one would come with this. I haven't shown that, but if anybody's interested, it has batteries in it. This has the latest firmware. It is not the Bluetooth enabled AA55. Let me get it out. Yeah, so this one's on my website right now. There's no Bluetooth option in this one, but otherwise it's working good. So I've used this before, but I upgraded to this one. So because I'm doing some HF stuff and some UHF stuff and VHF stuff, so just having one thing is better than multiple. And I think I'm asking a pretty fair price for this, I guess. This goes up to 6 meter, so if you only have HF and 6 meter needs, then that's something that you might find useful for a little bit of a discount. I think this came with it, but this is going out with it. I wish there was one of these for the other one, but I can't find one that fits. They show like this soft case thing for it, so maybe I'll get that. But yeah, the Rig Expert's available on the pre-owned options there on the website. And yeah, this one's ready to go, so I just got to put the screws in it and button it up. Here's your Talkback. 1 2 1 2. Check check. Okay, echo. Of course, you can get real carried away with that. 1 2 3. Check check. Hello. 1 2. That's what I'm talking on right now. A USA made one, not the poor quality ones that they have out now. Hello, radio. So there you go. That's the inner one. So there's no on and off. It just slides. And yeah, let's look at this really quick in the 100 kilohertz range. So we're looking at 27155 to 27255, and center frequency is 27205. So I know we'll get there eventually. So each one of those boxes represents one channel of like CB. So you can see as I'm speaking here, it's relatively clean. We're not taking up really much more than what we need to. And this is a high power radio, so obviously the more power you put out, you know, the more bandwidth sometimes you take up. And high power and high modulation. This is not a mud duck radio, so you know, if you want a mud duck radio, there's definitely other options out there on the market for that. But this is definitely not the one. So there you have it. I'm going to try to hook this up to the antenna and see what we can hear really quick, and then I'll get this one boxed up and get ready to ship off to you. Where did you say you were there, guy? Missouri? 10-4 on that. We're up here in the Great Lakes of Michigan. 269 said it.
269, triple nickel, mid Missouri, waving.
Right back at you, man. And if I don't hear you out there before, I hope you have a happy Independence Day coming up. And we'll catch you later. 269 Michigan on this 497. Back out.
Yeah, we're 269. You have a good day. Happy 4th when it comes right into you. No doubt about it, man. Take care. We do it again another day, another way. Triple nickel. I'm down the way now.
There you go. I didn't expect that, but hey, sometimes that's the way it goes. I kind of like this yellow, actually. It kind of reminds me like a bumblebee. You know what would really set this radio off is those black knobs that I put on the 955. You put some of those black knobs on here, man, that would be freaking sharp.
I love it. It smells so much better than regular exhaust.
But here you go. So I hope you enjoy it. I'll get it, like I say, get it boxed up here soon and ready to send off to you. Depending on where you are in Ohio, if I can swing the UPS down to you, I'll do that, because you probably get it a lot faster. 73.